So in this video I will be showing you how to create a database, MySQL database in particular. So this is from the previous video which I was recording and it didn't go well, so I'm going to delete it and create a new one. Okay, first you have to head on over to RDS and then you can just click on create database and you'll come here. We're going to be doing standard create. I'm going to walk you through all the options. We're going to be going with MySQL. You can leave the default engine version. Templates, free tier, dev, test, production, pretty straightforward, but we're going to be doing production because I'm going to walk you through all the options. Don't worry, this tutorial will not cost you any money. Free tier, I mean, most of the options are disabled, so it's not really a true hands-on. So we're going to go with production. Multi-AZ database is expensive, so because we have to remain in the future, I'm going with single DB instance. You can go through this if you want to. Multi-AZ basically means multiple availability zones with backups, right? In and each different availability zone, correct, yeah. And this one would be a single primary database instance and does not support read replicas. As you can see here, does not support connections for read workloads, so it's one single primary database. Database identifier, we can keep it database 1 admin. These are your credentials to log into your database. Let it be admin. Password is something you can set. Oops. Yes. Yeah. Because you'll stay in the free. Okay, instance configuration. What kind of CPU do you want to have, right? So if you want very high performance, you would go with standard classes, which include M classes. But we do not need that because this is a free tier. I'm going to be going with burstable classes, T3 micro, just to stay within the free tier limit. Storage now, because now if you really want to do a production database, you would be going with provisioned IOPS, high performance, but I'm going to be going with the GP2, and I do not need 200 GB. I have 20 GB is enough for me. Storage auto scaling. Let's say you're running out of storage, 20 GB is not enough for me, so Amazon would automatically increase my storage on the database up to a maximum threshold, which is set to 1000 by default, but it can go up to 6144 GB. Okay, I'm gonna leave it as is. Connectivity, do you want to connect do you want to connect a EC2 compute resource, or do you not want? It's pretty straightforward option. If you do connect, you have to choose the EC2 instance which is running. You have the option to create it. I'm not going to connect it for now. We're going to leave it in a default VPC, subnet group default, public access, yes, this is important if you want to test it out on your own. We're going to create a new security group, demo RDS SG. Preference zone, no preference, any zone is fine for me. Proxy, this is to handle more as you can see here, speaks for itself. Fully managed, highly available proxy that improves application scalability, resilience, and security. So basically, proxy is like a middleman between the client and the database. It will handle connections and it avoids too many connections happening to the database, which may reduce performance. So the connections will happen to the RDS proxy, and the proxy will read and serve the requests from the database, and it's not a direct connection. You will connect to the proxy instead. It's a bit it's out of the scope for this video, so I'll not be covering proxy. Additional configuration is going to be on 3306. Password authentication, that is the thing we set above. Granularity, the more granular you want your monitoring records, the more you pay, so I'm going to leave it at 60. Additional configuration, initial database name, I'm going to call it DB. That's good. This is something you need to note down. Yeah, don't forget this, because when you connect it, you're going to need this key. Backups, there is a point in time recovery snapshot, which means you can go back in time and you can recover the state of the database at a particular time in the past, right? So it's there from 1 to 35 days. You can revert back to 1 to 35 days. Let's keep it as 7 days. No preference. It can be whenever. Replication in another region. Do you want to have replicas of your backups in different regions? So let's say one region goes down, you will have backups in other regions. More better disaster recovery. I don't need it. Encryption default. It'll use the Amazon KMS key. Log exports. Do you want let's say you want a long-term storage, of what is happening, so you can export the logs to CloudWatch, Amazon CloudWatch, so you can access them there. Maintenance, enable version upgrade, which will happen on its own automatically. No preference. Any time window is fine. Enable deletion protection, true. You do not want to mistakenly you do not want to delete your database by mistake. That's it. You can go ahead and create your database. Okay, sync underscore db. I think that should do. Okay, while this gets created, you may want to go ahead and install SQL Electron. You can click on the first link. So this is the client we'll be using to connect to our database. You can click on download GUI. You come on down here. I think this is the one. Yeah, I'm running a Windows machine, so this is the one I would download. You can download it, install it, and then once you're done, it should look something like this. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this database to start running. It takes a while. Let me show you around in the meanwhile. If you click on the database, you come here. Let's go to security, endpoint, port. These are still getting created, so it'll take a while. So this is the security group which we created, right? We named it demo RDS SG. Now let's see what is happening there. Demo RDS SG. So this is the one. Okay, inbound rule which allows TCP traffic over port 3306 from my IP address. Now I do not want that, so I will edit inbound rules. I'll remove this, and for now I'll just keep it anywhere IPv4. Correct, so anyone can access the database. I mean, this is for testing. You would not want to do this on your production because it may cause unexpected hacks. A lot of unexpected bills come into your account. Okay, so that should do. Let's go back to our RDS. Let's see if it's up and running. Okay, it's still creating, so I will pause the video and I'll resume once it's done. Okay, so my database is up and running. As you can see, the CPU is running at 27%. Current activity 0 connections. Yeah, okay, fine. We are good to go. Let's connect with SQL Electron. I'm gonna open an SQL Electron here. Before that, we need to copy this endpoint. So this is the endpoint we connect to perform operations on the DynamoDB data RDS database. I'm so sorry. So this is how SQL Electron looks. Add a connection name DB1. It's MySQL. The address is the one we just copied. Admin and the password you set when creating it. This was sunk_db. This you would have set when initially creating the database. I told you to make a note of it. Initial database name /key space. That is important. You need to do that here. Test the connection. Connection successful. Great. Okay, now we can save the connection. Oh, my bad. Okay, you can go ahead and create my table. Let's call it my table, and it will have a name value varchar 20 characters. Very basic table. Let's execute it. Query executed successfully. Okay, done. Okay, let's perform some insert operation. Execute. Done. Query done successfully. Let's Now let us read all the data just to test it out. Okay, you can execute this command, and as you can see, this is the value I inserted. So that's about it for the video. Thanks for watching. uh, Please feel free to leave some comments if you need something I can work on, or if you need some help with anything. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.